What's up, guys? Prince Sports here. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe. Now, I want to talk to you guys about the news from yesterday. If you go on the internet, you see a lot of people talking about, LeBron James' late game decision, from Jay Williams to Dame Dollar. And 90% of these people that making comments about this, they said what I would say. They said they would have tucked that last shot. Okay, Dame Dollar said, yeah, it was the right play, but I would have tucked that last shot. I would have hit it on him, especially if you hot. And LeBron was hot during the whole game. And he was reluctant. He left another game on the table. The last two games the Miami Heat won were all winnable games for the Lakers. And those fall on the shoulders of LeBron James. You're the leader of the team. You failed to close out the game. And you failed to deliver in the fourth. And that's just what it is, man. You got to close games out. Without a doubt, you have to be able to close games out, period. And true superstars are able to do that. And LeBron James, for some reason, when it comes to late game decisions, that's one of his biggest flaws. He just don't make the right play, or the play that you should ride or die with. You should have lived or died with that final jump shot on your own, LeBron. And I come down to a conclusion. The reason why he passes the ball in the fourth quarter so much, this alone in these playoffs, okay, he's always deferred to somebody else to try to bail him out in the fourth quarter. Now, for all you trolls that sit there and say, well, Mike had John Paxson hitting this shot. Listen, John Paxson never bailed out Michael Jordan the way LeBron James is looking for people to bail him out constantly. Okay, there's a difference between one or twice and all the time. 90% of the time, somebody's bailing LeBron James out in the clutch. That doesn't mean he hasn't hit clutch shots, but he gets bailed out way more often than any other superstar. Okay, if you could get my drift of what I'm talking about. You had examples with Mike, but at the same time, he come out and close. And yeah, LeBron hit more clutch shots than Michael Jordan in the playoffs, but keep that in mind. He let games get to that because you didn't put your foot on nobody's neck. All right? Jordan crushed people in the fourth quarter, period. He didn't let it get to a last shot all the time because he was so busy putting his foot on their neck. He controlled both aspects of the floor, offense and defense. Something LeBron James takes his foot off the gas pedal. This is what I'm talking about. Letting up and letting people get the best of you when they shouldn't be getting best of you. You were going head-to-head with Jimmy Butler. You were supposed to shoot that shot. So all you guys clowning Danny Green, that's not his fault. That's not what he's there for. He's not on that team to be taking the final shot. LeBron James is the main guy on that team. You supposed to be taking that final shot. No but ifs about it. And you were hot. You mean to tell me you couldn't pull up a mid-range jump shot before the double team came? You know why he didn't do that? Because his offensive game has holes in it. And this is why, another reason why he's not offensively gifted as Michael Jordan. Okay? He's going to have more points than Mike, of course. He already does career-wise because he's been playing longer. But his ability to score the basketball is not as good as Michael Jordan's. Okay? It's harder for him to get his own shot off than Mike because his offensive skill set is not as graceful, it's not as skillful as Mike's. Period. And you saw a perfect example of that. And his Achilles heel is shooting free throws. So he know if he gets fouled, he got to go to that free throw line. And there's a chance he may make 1 out of 2 or miss both. Because he has done that in late game situations. Jordan's at 80+% free throw shooter. So he's good at the free throw line. All right? And that's the main reason, guys, why LeBron James passes the ball in the fourth quarter. Is because his offensive game is limited. Okay? He gets by on athletic ability, and, he could bulldoze his way to the basketball. Bulldoze his way to the basketball. Bulldoze his way to the court, I mean. All right? Now, you saw that. Remember that final play when he flexing and he doing all of that? That's not skill. That's just basically Karl Malone power. All right? Jimmy Butler what he did was a little more harder than LeBron. Outside of the three-point shooting, what he did in terms of getting his own shot off, mid-range, one-legged fadeaway jump shots, more harder to do than what LeBron James is doing. Period. And it takes more skill to do that. LeBron was just getting by on power, and he was just, bully balling people. And that's the main reason why he do that. And keep this into mind, man. It's no different from life itself. Life is aggressive itself, Like Lon said, life's a bitch, and then that's a 100% fact. Because, keep this in mind, whenever you want something in life, you got to go hard for it. All right, you have to compete. You got to go hard for it. That's with a job, with anything. The day you start slacking, you take your foot off the neck of somebody's neck. That's when they're gonna come and take your spot. It's like being in the jungle, right? If the lion is wounded, the hyenas come after him, right? They sense blood in the water. That's how it is in real life, man. It's kill or be killed. That's the type of world we live in. Our very country in America has been built on blood, Sadly, but it's been built on violence and things like that, of people wanting stuff and going after stuff and taking it. That's just the world we live in, You notice the more aggressive person is usually the more successful person in life. With all these people, Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant, Donald Trump, even though I don't like him, but he's an aggressive guy when it comes to business. That's how he got famous in the first place. You have to be on it. You got to put on your foot on people's neck. And you got to be able and willing to be able to break a couple of eggs to get to where you at. That's just how it is, man. A closed mouth don't get fed. That's just how it is. You got to be able to speak up. You got to be able to go for yours. And LeBron, you're going to have to close Game 6. Period. Miami Heat shouldn't have won 2 games. You should have closed both of those games out. Miami Heat won. Even when Jimmy Butler got hot, you still had chances of putting your foot on that net, but you didn't want for the challenge. You backed down. You answered the challenge in Game 5, but then instead of live or dying with your jump shot, you passed the ball. Mike would have topped that shot. Whether he made it or not, he would have topped the shot. And I would have been satisfied with that because he went out. He fired every bullet in the chamber. That's what going after it means. Okay? There's nothing wrong with losing if you empty everything out. Jordan lost against the Boston Celtics, got swept, but was averaging 41, 49. And capped it off with a 63-point game performance. He went out like a true G. LeBron James, you leave too much on the table. Jordan, he scraped the pole plate. LeBron James, you need to scrape the plate against a dog like Jimmy Butler because he's not going to let up. Period. Prince Sports out. Peace.